Hey guys, John Paul here, and follow-up video. I'm on vacation with my family. I'm in my sister's backyard here in Arizona, and after I showed what I packed for my trips, several people messaged me. A couple people left comments saying, "Hey, will you show what's in your bag?" And here are the contents of the most disorganized photographer's bag on the planet. So let me share with you here. First off, in the inside pocket, I've got a large plastic bag that I can fit my entire pack into, and I keep that in there for rain and snow, as you've seen me video in. Inside the pouch here, I've got my viewing cards, and if you look on my channel, I'll put a link below. I've actually done a video about how I use these and why they're amazing. Open up here. I don't have a lot in here. I have, let's see, I've got some Allen wrenches, I've got a small knife, and I also have, there we go, adapter rings for my filter system in here. Down here I've just got some batteries. I don't like to put a lot in here because I don't want things hitting my camera gear. Beyond the Zone System BTZS dark cloth. Again, this is a mess, but I know where everything is, and everything goes in the exact same spot every single time, so I can find it. This is my Lee filter system filter holder with the adapter ring for my most often used lens on the 4x5 and 617, which is my 150mm lens. I'll show you that in a minute. Instead of carrying two different camera systems, I carry, let's see here, my KB Canon 5x7 metal field camera. And in this pack, I actually keep the mounting plate from Really Right Stuff on here. And I carry the 5x7 so that I can shoot both 4x5 inch, and in this box I have my KB Canon 4x5 inch film back. And honestly, this is the original little box it came in, and I think it's just enough protection, separating it from the camera and from other things in the bag. It's lightweight, it's easy to use, it's got a plastic liner in it. My 4x5 film back. Next to that, I have my 6x17 centimeter roll film back, and this is an electronic unit. It's a great design, but it's very awkward to use. And when I was first learning how to use it, I created this little directional card, and I basically just typed up a little card for each of the steps for loading the film, which it's kind of ridiculous how complicated it is. Now I don't need the card, but a good tip with this, I laminated the card so I can keep it with myself in my bag, and it's waterproof, and I can take a quick peek at it if I haven't used the panoramic back in 6 months. Maybe I was using my 8x10 and the 4x10. So that is in here. Those have their spaces. Next pocket on top, headlamp. I always keep one of these. These cloths, honestly, it came out of my picture framing shop. It's a lint-free cloth, and absolutely sucks for wiping water off of things, but it's great for dust and lint and that sort of thing. So I keep this in here. Next, I have my lenses, and I won't take all of them out. I've got, let's see, my 150mm lens, which is the APO Sirinar S. It's the Rodenstock lens. This is my favorite lens. It's ridiculously tack sharp, has great coverage with movements. It's small and lightweight, which I'm one of the few not too smart people out there that doesn't weigh weight and convenience for things. I want lens quality, multi-coating, all of that. It happens to be on a Canon lens board, so I'll set that aside. In the middle here I have my 90mm lens, and below it my 210mm lens, and I have a small separator pad separating them. And a little tip for you, I'll pull this out real quick. Now, these are each in the bags that they came in. They're plastic bubble bags. The bubbles are all pop, but the plastic bag's waterproof. It just gives that little bit of protection. When I put my lenses in the bag here, facing up and down, all of the controls are on the front part of the element, the front part of the lens board. I have that facing downward in the bag so that I'm not gonna accidentally ripping through here get something caught on the, you know, one of the dials or knobs or adjusters and rip that off and break it. So that goes face down. Little things, but they make sense. In this other pocket I have cable release, and for me, I do a lot of really long exposures. This is a cheap cable release, but it has worked for years, no issues, and it's got a little locking dial here, so when I set the lens to bulb, I can activate the lens shutter and twist this, and it locks that in place. I can, you know, with film, I don't have issues with noise. I can do a 6-hour exposure if I want to, and that locks it on. Right next to that is my Sekonic L558R digital spot meter. In that same pocket I have my Peak 8X loupe. I've got a couple of lens cloths in a plastic bag, and these are great for wiping water off, these small ones. They absorb water. I use these for my lenses. Because it fits in here, I have my Lee big stopper filter, and one of the cool things about the Lee filter, along with quality, is it comes with this little card. So obviously I can easily calculate in my head 10 stops of additional light for my long exposure with this dark filter. It's really nice to quickly refer to the card, and then I make my compensations for reciprocity failure with the film and that sort of thing. For those of you that aren't familiar with these, if you look, it's a very dark filter. You can see nothing through it, very obviously. So it theoretically is neutral in color, neutral density, 10 stops. It takes a very short exposure time and necessitates a very long exposure time for you. I'll do another video on that one of these days. Up here is my film, and in that pocket, everything I had there, I have it there because I use it at the same time during the process. My light meter, my loupe, my my cable release, thank you. Those are all used at the same time. I keep them together. Up here I have a box of 120 roll film, and in here, let me show you, I've got my Provia 100 transparency film, which is my film of choice. It doesn't have a vast amount of latitude. I also have Kodak Ektar 100 print film, so if I have a scene where maybe the Provia doesn't cover it and I'm afraid of losing my highlights, I'm going to use the Ektar. I'm going to lean toward exposing for the shadows. I'll do another video on that. If you'd like to see it, let me know. So I have film choice. Put these back in here. Underneath I have 8 film holders. I have, it doesn't matter, in a plastic bag which is waterproof and dustproof. Try to keep these protected. I've got one bag of color film, again, Provia 100. I also have a couple sheets of print film in there for a wider latitude range. And then I have, and I've got them backwards here, but then I have a bag of 4 holders with Ilford FP4 black and white 4x5 inch film. So the beauty of the large format, I can shoot one sheet color, one sheet black and white. I shoot whatever I feel the scene requires or is going to show it in the way I like. In my pocket up here I have a few rolls of FP4, again 120 roll film, and for those of you that aren't familiar, I use this roll film in my 6 by 17 centimeter panoramic roll film back so that I can shoot panoramic format. I like shooting exactly what I envision in a scene. I don't like to crop. I don't take a real wide angle shot and say, oh well, when I get home I'm going to crop this to a vertical and I'm going to make part of it a panoramic. I shoot what I see, so that's why I carry these different formats with me. Okay, next pocket here. And there's a reason for this. I have a Koken filter holder, Koken P filter holder system holder with thread adapters for the different lenses I have, and those are for specifically my Stingray lighter, brighter, warming polarizer. I rarely use a polarizer. I use it if I've got wet rocks or foliage to take glare off. Normally I don't like it for a sky. That's another story, another video, but these are in here. I have another little LED flashlight for hiking in the dark before sunrise, after sunset, but also for light painting if I'm doing a a Milky Way shot with my digital camera that I'm using to do the video, that sort of thing. Alright, getting to the end here, I have my Lee split neutral density. This is my hard grad 0.6, which is 2 stops. It's the 100 millimeter by 150 millimeter wide. If you can see the gradation here, I've got that in my pack, and that obviously if I'm shooting sunset, the sky is super bright, the foreground is in shadow, I want to even out the exposure and narrow the latitude range. Split neutral density filters, let me know if you want a video about those. And then I have a 3-stop, a little stronger, but a soft grad with large format film. I'm actually going to take this out of my bag and get a 4-stop hard graduation, because with the lenses I'm using on large format film, that soft gradation is so soft and so spread out, I just don't find a good situation to use it, and it's really hard to align it and place it. Finally, I have my Koken my Koken black and white contrast filters. I've got 4 of these. I have green, yellow, orange, and red. These are for shooting black and white film and controlling contrast. So if I've got a blue sky and some white clouds and I want the sky to appear really black in contrast to the white clouds, I'll throw on my red filter. Again, that's a whole different lesson, but these are in here. And in general, each thing is compartmentalized for the time during my process that I use them, and everything goes back in exactly the same spot every time. So it doesn't matter how fancy your bag is, how big or small, carry exactly what you need, and every single time put it in exactly the same spot so that you're not searching for anything. You know, you're out, it's, you know, you're getting ready for sunrise, it's fairly dark out, you want to know where your headlamp is and exactly where, you know, your focusing loop is so you can get ready. Where's your dark cloth? A lot of times if I know what I'm going to be shooting, I have a plan. I'll plan it the night before. I generally don't pull anything out of the bag in anticipation for a shoot unless I'm real close to the car, because I can change my mind out there. It's a creative process, but whatever I take out, whatever I put in, it always goes in exactly the same place every single time. So it's one less thing to worry about, one less thing to think about. People are going to ask me about my bag. This is an older Low Pro AW pack, one of the largest ones they made. I keep it because I own it already. the padding acts as good insulation and protection, but with the older bag, I don't know how their newer ones are now, but the older bag, the waist belt system, the pack system itself, the suspension system, I don't like it at all. I go out, it hurts my back, it's not anatomically made. What I try to do now is get bags that are actually made for backpackers, for hikers. So my 8x10, my real heavy gear, is in one of those. I'll show it to you. They're actually not made anymore, but it might give you some ideas as to how to create your own pack system. Hey, I hope this is helpful. I appreciate your watching. Please hit the like button, give it a thumbs up if you genuinely found it useful, and subscribe to the channel, share with people that might find this helpful. Leave comments, because I want to share with you things that are going to be useful for you and for others. The idea here is to share. You're welcome to chime in. Leave things in the comments that will help me improve what I share, but will also give good tips to other viewers. This is about building a community. So thanks again for watching. Happy shooting. Get out there.